wish that I could just wish away my feelings, but I can't.
Sand hurts my feelings.
I don't like sand.
Hurts my feelings.
Haunted by big sand in my very soul. Sand. How you're suffering as much as I am.
Sand
I
hurts
can't
my
breathe.
feelings.
Tormenting me. I'm in agony.
Sand hurts my feelings.
I don't like sand.
Hello, and welcome to The Sand Hurts My Feelings, a Star Wars podcast from a Swiftie point of view. I am your host, Alex.
And I'm your other host, Sarah. And we have a first today. We are talking about the life of a showgirl and our connections to a Star Wars character.
Correct. But before we do that, we want to also shout out hello and happy Star Wars Podcast Day. It is February 7th. You're participating in Star Wars Podcast Day. It is an amazing day where we celebrate all different types of podcasts all about Star Wars. It is on February 7th because of Jedi Talks, the first Star Wars podcast. First episode was released on February 7th in 1999. Can you believe it? All the way back then. So we are going to give you a quick rundown on who we are and what we are in case you are meeting us for the very first time. I'm Alex.
And I'm Sarah. We are hosts of this podcast as well as Feeling the Force. But this podcast here, The Sand Hurts My Feelings, comes from our mutual loves of Taylor Swift and Star Wars. We love talking about Taylor Swift and her music. We love talking about Star Wars. And we see the different threads and comments on the internet, the different little music video compilations people have made. Y'all are making the comparisons too, seeing the parallels between Taylor's work and the Star Wars galaxy. So we're like, why not have a podcast about it? Because we're talking about it. Other people want to be part of the conversation too. So we are just wrapping up our third season here. This third season, and the episode we're going to be talking about today is all about Rey, our leading lady of the sequel trilogy. But if you like what you hear, you can go back and listen to our first two seasons, available wherever you find your podcast. We've covered Princess Leia Organa or General Leia Organa Solo, however you would prefer to refer to her. And then we've also talked about Padme Amidala, Queen Padme Amidala, and the connections we see between Taylor Swift's lyrics and those ladies.
And the way we also do it is each episode is about a album of Taylor Swift's. So each season before it had been 11 episodes, but now we've got Showgirl.
Ooh.
So we have 12 episodes where we will pick one song from each album that is connected to that character. So you are jumping in just at the right time with Rey on Showgirl, and you will just be just in time because we have missed our two female leads of Padme and Leia from Showgirl because our seasons had come out before that album has released. So our next two episodes after this one will be about Leia and Padme in Showgirl as well, and we'll assign a song to her. But before we do that, we always usually start our conversations with, how are you doing, Sarah?
Not great. Really trying times.
It is trying times.
Thank goodness for Taylor and her vast discography to help navigate through difficult times and emotions.
Correct. And that is kind of what we're here for, is to escape reality sometimes. Sometimes you need to disconnect and try to find the joy in the world wherever you can.
Mm-hmm. So that's what we're doing here, combining two of our fandom loves and finding a little joy.
Correct. So with this, we also start off with our favorite song on Showgirl. Would you like to go first?
I can. For me, this is still changing.
Ever changing. It's still a brand new. So we will not hold each other. And
No.
You will not hold us to these predictions because again, we're not even a year into.
I was gonna say we're not even 6 months old.
Yeah, I guess not 6. We're getting close to 6 months now. But yeah, you're right.
Yeah,
we're not even.
We're not even to the 6 months.
At the time of recording, we are not even 6 months with Showgirl. So things are constantly changing in our own minds as we re-listen.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, go ahead and start off with. Currently, what is your favorite song off of Life of a Showgirl?
My current favorite is Father Figure. I have really enjoyed listening to that song and the layers, and having talked with Alex, having talked with other Swifties about the song, just the layers and the meaning and the perspective she takes, and the rhythmicality of the song, and it's really scratching a good itch right now. And I'd say that has been my favorite solidly on Showgirl for the past month, if not a little bit longer.
Okay, and for me, y'all should probably be able to predict this because you all know I'm a sad song girly over here. So, Ruin the Friendship is absolutely my favorite right now. It is, again, scratching the itch, as I've been discussing of it just, again, the life is hard right now. And so that song and also TTPD in general has been helping me. But for Life of a Showgirl, Ruin the Friendship is one that is really hitting me because it feels not sad up until the very end, but once you know it's sad, it makes sense, if that makes sense. Like, it's just the tone is so well written, in my opinion, and everything that you get when you're listening to it, you're like, "Oh, this is a fun little song," and then you get to the part where he's passed away, and you question of like, "Oh my goodness, what happened?" And you hear the ending, and you're just like, "This fits." And then you start it over again, and you're like, "This flow still fits." And you, even though you know it's a sad song, like it still feels respectful. It feels emotional all the way through, and you can tell that shift. So again, to me, it's just the masterful wording and tone of the song that is just, it works in all different ways.
But yeah, but I don't think there's not a bad song on this album. So I mean,
That's not true. Sarah does have a song that she doesn't like. What is your song that you don't like?
I don't like Honey.
See, so that is her
So,
opinion, and
yeah.
we're not going to get mad at that. But so don't say that there isn't a bad song. You don't like Honey. I will tell you right now, I'm going through a hard time. So I will currently, I know it is a good song. I do not like Eldest Daughter. I that is a skip song for me right now. So again, there's no bad song. There's no criticism. It's just this is not what we are feeling at the moment.
And that is one of the beautiful things about Taylor. She's got a song for pretty much everything.
Correct. And opinions change.
Yeah, because we change.
Correct.
All right, now for my favorite part of the episode.
The episode where we actually get to talk about the music.
Yeah. Would you like to go first, or would you like me to go first?
I'll let you go first.
Okay. So I will.
So interested to see what you picked for this. Listeners, as you know, this is the first time we've discussed any. It's like we're starting the podcast over again almost, because we have a brand new album and there's a whole slate of songs. So I have no idea what you picked.
You know it's one of the 12.
Correct, but it's one of 12. That's all I know.
Right.
I don't know which one you picked.
No, yeah, this is a unique one because Ray gets to come first. It was Leia and Padme, so they got their first pick of the songs. But Ray's first, so Ray had all 12 options available to her.
We'll get at least one more album after this too. I think she'll keep making, but we will at least get a 13th Taylor.
Yeah, there's no way Taylor leaves 13 on the table.
I think she keeps going after that. But anyway, sorry, interrupting. Continue. What is your pick?
My pick, so I will say, listeners, I did struggle a little bit picking for Life of a Showgirl. Still absorbing the music for the first time. We said it's less than 6 months. Still very much in those fields. And so it was a little hard to kind of shift gears and think Star Wars. I didn't have any songs on this album. No, I take that back. There was one song on this album that immediately jumped to me as to who this character or who it best fits, but that was not the case for Ray. After a little bit of thought, my pick for Ray is The Fate of Ophelia.
Interesting. Okay.
Not your pick?
No, not my pick.
Darn, we didn't match. Okay, but my pick, The Fate of Ophelia, is, I think it works for Ray's a connection with Ben Solo as a dyad and how they have that connection in the Force. And I think it also works for Ray's connection to the Force as a whole, kind of putting Ben Solo aside, her powers and connection within the Force. Ray was trapped and alone on Jakku until the Force and her dyad connection with Ben came along. Now she's awake and in full capacity of her powers. So going through our song here line by line, so hard not to sing. I heard you calling on the megaphone, you want to see me all alone. As legend has it, you are quite the pyro. You light the match to watch it blow. Kylo Ren / Ben Solo wants to connect with Rey to understand her and the connection that they share, but he has quite the temper, fitting the pyro description. Going back to...
He also burned down the Jedi temple, or technically he didn't, but it was burning when we saw him in
the memories.
The memories of Force Awakens.
Yes. Another great add-on to that. Going back to the lyrics, and if you'd never come for me, I might have drowned in the melancholy. I swore my loyalty to me, myself, and I, right before you lit my sky up. Rey was not happy on Jakku. She looked after herself and trusted no one. She didn't let other people in because of her abandonment in childhood and the traumas from that. Then we hit the chorus. All that time I sat alone in my tower, you were just honing your powers. Now I can see it all. All the time Rey was on Jakku, protected in her quote-unquote tower, Ben Solo was training, honing the Force, and ultimately preparing to connect with Rey. The Force was also preparing for her, keeping her safe until the time was right for her to step into her power. Late one night, you dug me out of my grave and saved my heart from the fate of Ophelia. The scene where Ben and Rey touch hands in the hut in The Last Jedi, Ben assures Rey that she's not alone after she goes through that experience within the dark side cave. And Ben also literally brings her back to life at the end of Troth, digging her out of her grave. But more than that, I think Rey had resigned herself to a life of loneliness and powerlessness on Jakku, which Ophelia, the character in Hamlet, actually experiences. She is a powerless woman at the hands of these powerful men throughout the play Hamlet. So, unlike Ophelia, the Force gives Rey power in saving her from that fate. Keep it 100 on the land, the sea, the sky. Pledge allegiance to your hands, your team, your vibes. Again, we're going to go back to that hand touch in The Last Jedi because it was such a powerful Force moment and a powerful moment between Ben and Rey and their dyad. Together, they're the two parts, and they are unstoppable. So we're going to pledge allegiance to those hands. Don't care where the hell you've been, 'cause now you're mine. It's about to be the sleepless night you've been dreaming of, the fate of Ophelia. Now that the Force has awakened within Rey, she is wide awake. There is no more sleeping on her powers and what she is capable of. Verse 2. The eldest daughter of a nobleman, Ophelia lived in fantasy. Rey is the granddaughter of Palpatine, who is a nobleman, and she lived in...
Barf.
This one's not my strongest connection.
I'm not barfing at the connection. I'm barfing at
the granddaughter.
That he's a nobleman. No, not the nobleman comment. That is the comment. No,
okay.
No, the connection is great.
Okay.
No criticism there.
No, that's fine. So yeah, Rey lived in fantasy that her parents would return and that her grandfather wasn't Palpatine. But love was a cold bed full of scorpions. The venom stole her sanity. The blood family that Rey thought she wanted turned out to be toxic, Palpatine. But the news shook her to her core, and she hated herself and what she was connected to within The Rise of Skywalker. And if you'd never come for me, I might have lingered in purgatory. Again, this is kind of referring, if the Force and Ben had never come for Rey, she would still be on Jakku, and I think Jakku is a pretty apt metaphor for purgatory. It's nothing and nowhere.
Can I quick jump in and make a connection, and my own little connection to
please.
Something? Okay, not to interrupt, but Ben also coming for her after she's died. She's technically in purgatory.
That's another great.
And then he gives his life to her and saves her and brings her out of purgatory. So just thought of that one.
No, I love that, and that's better than well, I shouldn't say it's better than Jakku.
Not better than,
but no, love that connection. Just add that right in there. You wrap around me like a chain, a crown, a vine, pulling me into the fire. As part of a dyad, Rey is constantly pulled toward her other half, Ben, which brings her into the firefight that is the Star War. Then we go back into the chorus, which we already talked about, so we just have a little bit here with the bridge. Locked inside my memory, and only you possess the key. No longer drowning and deceived, all because you came for me. Rey has suppressed a lot of her memories, but Ben and the Force bring them back. We see that in the hand touch. We see that as Rey grabs the Skywalker saber in The Force Awakens, that Rey has suppressed a lot of these memories which understandable. You suppress your traumas. But Ben and the Force help her step into her power and to work through those. Rey sees and feels the truth, which sets her free. And then, yeah, you saved my heart from the fate of Ophelia. The dyad connection saved Rey from the fate of Ophelia. I do also want to make like a kind of funny meta connection that Daisy Ridley played Ophelia in, what was that? That was before COVID, wasn't it? No, I don't remember when that movie came out, but
What movie?
there was a movie called Ophelia
Really?
where Daisy Ridley played Ophelia, and it was like the telling of Hamlet from her perspective.
Oh, I did not know that.
I don't think it did very well.
It did not. If I had heard about it.
No, yeah, you're pretty on tap with movies, but I thought that was kind of interesting to pick this one for Rey when you share an actress.
Very cool.
What is your pick for Rey?
Okay. Are you ready to be destroyed?
Okay, deep breath in, deep breath out. I am.
Okay, because this is going to come out of left field, and this actually lines up pretty well with my other podcast that is relaunching today, Who Shot First, a Star Wars controversy podcast, and it is actually talking about Finn and The Last Jedi. So the reason I bring that up is because I also gave you a hint at what my pick was, because my pick for Rey is Ruin the Friendship with Rey and Finn.
Okay. All right. I'm excited.
So this is meta and in universe for both.
Oh,
To start
okay.
us off, it goes gray overpass full of neon names. You drive 85 Gallatin Road and the lakeside beach, watching the game from your brother's Jeep, your smile miles wide. So this is Rey reminiscing about the past with Finn from The Force Awakens.
Mhm.
They were supposed to be romantic interests as set up in the film, and also by Alan Dean Foster, who wrote the novelization of The Force Awakens, but
Mhm.
Disney deliberately told him to remove more explicit implications of that relationship from the book.
Ooh.
They were afraid of portraying a biracial couple on screen.
That's stupid.
Yep. So then we go into the next part, and it was not an invitation. Should have kissed you anyway. Should have kissed you anyway. And it was not convenient, no, but your girlfriend was away. Should have kissed you anyway. Hey. So while Disney did not approve, there are many fans, myself included, that feel it was a missed opportunity to have Rey and Finn be romantically involved. It was not convenient, but Rey should have kissed Finn anyway, either in The Last Jedi or The Rise of Skywalker.
Mhm.
Continuing, we have shiny wood floors underneath my feet. Disco ball makes everything look cheap. Have fun. It's prom. Wilted corsage dangles from my wrist. Over his shoulder, I catch a glimpse and see you looking at me. So the shiny floors are the floors of Snoke's command ship. The disco ball is the red fabric covering all of the throne room. It looks cheap until it burns away. Rey is always thinking about Finn and her friends, even when she is with her supposed other half, Kylo Ren. And then we continue on. Don't make it awkward in second period. Might piss your ex off. Lately we've been good. Staying friends is safe. Doesn't mean you should. So this to me is Finn and Rey in Rise of Skywalker. I can't remember the name of the pit or whatever, but when Finn is sinking and Rey is sinking in the fields, in the
Yep.
sand or whatever, Finn is trying to say, hey, Rey, and he doesn't tell her. And he should have said, I love you, or I want to be with you. Other people say he was supposed to say he was force sensitive, which doesn't make sense, in my opinion.
Either way, he should have said what
he should have said what he wanted to say.
Yeah.
But he was staying friends with Safe. Then
Yep.
when he gets underneath, he goes, oh, what were you going to say? She says, what were you going to say? He goes, oh, it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. He should have ruined the friendship. Okay. Then finally, it was not an invitation, but I flew home anyway with so much left to say. It was not convenient, no, but I whispered at the grave. should have kissed you anyway. Oh, and it was not an invitation. Invitation should have kissed you anyway. And so this is the final part of the trilogy where Rey declares herself a Skywalker, but if you notice, she's there by herself. She is not with her friends. She is not with Finn, who she should be with. And she is there, not saying it's bad that she declared herself a Skywalker or anything, but that the series ends with her by herself and not with the partner and the family that she has been looking for the whole trilogy.
I like that pick. I like the back and forth because, yeah, there's moments where Rey should have said something and there's moments Finn should have said something.
Yep.
And
It's a two-way street. That
Yeah.
Both need to you need to ruin the friendship. As Taylor says, her recommendation, always ruin the friendship.
ruin the friendship. It would have made for a more interesting story.
I think so. And again, this is not me criticizing Raylos. This is just that I thought that would have been a little bit more of an interesting story, and stuff like that. Or to me, honestly, you could have done the Raylo story arc, and then had him do what I thought should have happened of not getting back together in Rise of Skywalker, and then having her go be with Finn. That would have worked for me as well. But
Maybe someday we'll get our Star Wars romance and a love triangle
on screen, because there's a really good Black Spire Crash of Fate is a pretty good Star Wars romance book if anybody's interested. It is pretty low stakes, just about two characters who are kind of feeling it for each other, and I like that book a lot. So if you're interested in Star Wars romance, also
Lost
Lost
Stars.
Stars, but that one is
Harder.
There's lots more at stake, and you have to have a lot of background of Star Wars. If you're just like, hey, I want a fun little book to read, Crash of Fate, highly recommend.
Yeah. No, yeah, to your point, I want to see a Star Wars romance on the screen because Anakin and Padme was not a true romance. Like, I want to see the notes of a romance movie, whether that's romantic drama or romantic comedy, like on the screen.
For Star Wars.
For Star Wars. Not whatever teenage Sarah thought was romantic in Anakin and Padme.
I'm glad you've grown out of that.
I had my phase. I have recognized what true and real love is, and Anakin and Padme is not it.
Yeah, go listen to our our Fear episode our Fear season from our other podcast, in Feeling the Force, where we talk about, does Anakin really love Padme, or does he just fear
of losing her,
the loss of her?
Yeah. Well, that was fun. I like talking about Showgirl.
Showgirl's a good album. There's a lot of people don't like it. I don't understand it. I enjoy it.
No, so we'll have our picks for Leia and Padme. Do we want to do for both the Padme and Leia seasons? We did a wrap-up episode where we kind of looked at the playlists that we made. Do we want to do that here for Rey?
So then, yeah, I guess we have one more episode where we get to talk about our playlists and where we thought things landed. And then we will get with Showgirl starting in March. Yeah, our next episode will be in our season finale of Rey, and then we'll do 2 episodes in March for Showgirl, and then we will start a new season of
a fourth
season, and we have decided we're going to do Ahsoka Tano for our 4th season, so we can start looking up and you guys can get excited for that, and where we'll land with Ahsoka Tano, because I'm already excited for some of mine. I'm really excited for my Showgirl one, because I just got a really cool idea, and I just looked at my list, and like, I already had that song picked, and now I have like another reason to add it. So
oh man, so we're going to be sitting on this teaser for a while.
This is a long teaser.
Okay.
But yeah, we'll see. But I'm excited for a lot of episodes for Ahsoka.
Yeah, Ahsoka's such a great character. We get to see so many different sides of her and different parts of her as we get excited for Ahsoka Season 2.
Correct. All right. So you can find in our show notes, we have all my links. Go to allmylinks.com/Center of My Feelings pod, and you can find all of our podcasting networks, everything there. We have our wonderful TeePublic and Redbubble stores if you're interested in supporting the podcast. We also have a Ko-Fi if you want to buy us a cup of coffee to support us, help us get better mics. But also, no worries if not. We're just here having fun, enjoying ourselves, and hopefully you are enjoying listening. So,
May the force be with you forever and always.
May the force be with you.
Forever and